how can they just boink in front of everyone? It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. But how cute is my headband? I made it. My very first crochet thing. I've got it on because I'm about to do a face mask and have a cup of coffee. Because if you have coffee, I'm gonna die. This was made in Korea. It's a simple, sensitive skin, rich moisture sheet mask with botanical extracts. There's no artificial colour, no perfume, no harsh chemicals that can upset the skin, no alcohol and no added paraben, no mineral oils and non-animal derived. You're animal derived, aren't you? He's just want cuddles. You want cuddles. It's early in the morning. I just have one thing to say. Why, Lauren? Why 7 o'clock in the morning when it's lockdown and you don't need to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning? Right, so the first hour of Cosy Reading Morning is finished. I read a chapter from A Game of Thrones. It was Sansa's chapter, and my god, I look like shit today. Can I just say, I'm tired. So this is how far I am into A Game of Thrones, and right now Sansa and Arya are being told that they've got to go back to Winterfell. They've been at King's Landing for a while with their father Eddard Stark, but things aren't going very well, so Eddard wants to get them back to Winterfell before things go really wrong, because Robert is just not being a very good king. So that's where I am in the book. My favourite chapters are Daenerys, the Mother of Dragons, so I've got to get through another chapter of Eddard before I get to her chapter. And I just feel like the books are so bogged down with all the Starks. Like, I just want a bit of variety. The dog wants to come in. My eyes are so puffy today. Thank God for coffee. I do want to go on to my audiobook, but I might do a bit more reading of this first because I want to do some more crocheting. I'm making another headband where I'll listen to The Dilemma by B.A. Paris while I continue to crochet, but everyone's still asleep, so all my stuff's upstairs, so I don't really want to disturb them, so I'll carry on with this for a bit until people start waking up and getting themselves together. I should still be in bed myself because I feel like rubbish. I may be slightly hungover. I'm up at stupid o'clock, remembering what real life is like before lockdown, thanks to Lauren from LaurenAndTheBooks. Thank you. Okay, so a little bit later, I just finished Eddard's chapter, and there was a lot to do with Cersei in it, and I just have to say, I hate Cersei, I really do. I don't know if you've read or watched the show or whatever, but my goodness, it's filthy, you know. I know it's way back when, but you know, the fact that she's shagging her brother is weird, her twin, and she's like, you know, when he's inside her, she feels whole because they're the same person in two separate bodies because they're twins, and it's just gross. But yeah, it's a great book though, I'm really loving it. So as it's about 8:30 now, I think it's time to move on to Fables. I'm going to make a cup of tea. What do I feel like? I've got peppermint green tea or English breakfast tea. I think I'm going to go with a green tea to start the day off with after my coffee. Read a chapter of Fables, and then I'm going to do some crocheting and listen to The Dilemma by B.A. Paris, which I'm really loving. I started it yesterday and it's just fantastic so far. So I'm at this really critical point as well. So The Dilemma is about this girl, I can't remember her name, I think it begins with an L, the main character, but it's her 40th birthday and she's got this big secret weighing on her, and I'm not going to say what I think it is, but if it is what I think it is, then I think the book might be a little bit predictable. However, the daughter wants to surprise her mum by coming back from Hong Kong or Asia or somewhere for her birthday, and the husband, Adam, he's trying to hide this whole secret that the daughter's coming back to surprise the mum for her birthday party, but the mum's like not really that keen for the daughter to come home anyway, so she's like, oh, she's actually kind of relieved that the daughter's not coming home. So I've got a theory about that she's got this big secret weighing heavily on her heart. But now the husband's just realised that this plane has crashed, and it's potentially the plane that the daughter should have been on if the plane hadn't been delayed from her previous, like the connecting flight. But now the daughter's not actually responding to any of the messages, and there's no ticks going through on her WhatsApp calls and stuff. So did she maybe somehow manage to board that flight, and was she on that flight? Apparently all the crew, all the passengers were perished. So I'm like, oh my god, I need to figure out what's going on. But I've been putting on Fables for too long. I'm on chapter 3 now, so I've got to read a chapter of this, and then I'm going to go on to B.A. Paris's book. But so far, really, really enjoying all 3 of these books, to be honest. So there we go, tea time. Actually, you know what, I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to wash the dishes and make my cup of tea and find something to eat, and during that whole process I'm going to be listening to the B.A. Paris book because honestly it's actually really good and I need to figure out what's going to happen next. So change of plans, that's what I'm going to do now. You know what I find really weird about this dilemma book, right? There's no dilemma at all. If you think that your daughter is literally just crashed and died in a plane, you don't try and hide it from your wife, even if it's her 40th birthday party. I'm pretty sure if your daughter dies, that takes preference over the fact that it's your bloody 40th birthday. I just don't understand the dilemma at all. It's just a bit odd. Okay, I've taken myself back to bed because everyone's awake now. So I just read a chapter of Fables, and it's so cool because it's like a murder mystery in this graphic novel. The artwork is awesome, and this dog won't leave me. Say hello to the camera, Tasha. Hello. Hey, you are so cute, aren't you? Anyway, so the artwork is awesome. Let me show you. Gosh, it's like impossible to film when you have all these things everywhere. Right. So basically what's happening, thank you. No, don't do that. So there's this scene where Rose Red has been murdered, right? And this dude is trying to figure out who's done it. And it's this Snow White's sister. And it turns out that Rose Red was betrothed to this dude called Bluebeard. And yeah, there's like loads of suspects. And it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I've done a fair bit of reading so far this morning. I had an apple, read 2 chapters of Game of Thrones, a chapter of Fables, 2 chapters of The Dilemma by B.A. Paris, and now I think I'm just gonna, I'll do a little bit of crocheting in a little bit, just maybe get a little bit more reading of, although no, you know, this is great and all, but I'm really enjoying Game of Thrones, so I think I'm going to do Game of Thrones because I'm on Daenerys' chapter now, so really excited to get into it. And then I'll do some crocheting. I'm busy making, let me show you that, busy making another headband, and this is what it looks like so far. I actually just can't believe I've done something like that because I didn't think I was really good at anything creative besides a bit of writing. So lockdown is good for some things. So Daenerys' chapter is pretty weird too. Like, she's pregnant with the son, and Drogo just can't seem to keep his hands off her. She's just eaten this like stallion's heart, which is supposed to make sure that the son inside of her is strong and doesn't get deformed or turn into a girl in her womb or whatever. Some weird Dothraki ritual. Then she goes to this lake where she wants to cleanse herself. She does that. She gets out the water, and then Drogo just takes her there and then in front of everyone. Like, literally, he's like, 3 quick strokes and it was done. The stallion who mounts the world, Drogo whispered hoarsely. His hands still smelled of horse blood. He bit at her throat hard in that moment of his pleasure, and when he lifted her off, his seed filled her and trickled down the inside of her thigh. Only then was Doria permitted to drape her in the scented sand silk and Eerie to fit soft slippers to her feet. Like, how can they just boink in front of everyone? And like, she just cleaned herself, and then he goes and like makes her all dirty with his cum. I don't know. It's just weird. But anyway, I think I'm gonna try finish another page or 2, and then I'm gonna probably have a little bit of a nap. I'm so tired. Right, there's 15 minutes left of Cosy Reading Morning. I've got a lovely smoothie, and I'm gonna just read for 15 more minutes, and then I'm going back to bed because I'm so tired. I only went to bed like at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, so absolutely shattered.